What's good to YouTube, and welcome to the house. I just finished the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. I will be getting the Blu-ray. It was amazing. I had a really good time. But let's go ahead and get into the huge news that dropped while I was out there. Yes, the TCG confirmed release of Cherubini, the Burning Abyss Link monster. But I think there's a lot being overshadowed here in the Dark NEOSTORM description, and we're gonna heavily get into that as well. So let's go ahead and read some things for the press release for Dark NEOSTORM. Dark NEOSTORM has finally been officially announced for the TCG release. Forget about April showers, the real storm is brewing May 3rd, the official release date of Dark NEOSTORM, the last 100-card booster set of the 2018 to 2019 dueling season. This means legal for the WCQ. That is freaking awesome. So keep in mind, you will need to be playtesting with these sets as we head into the WCQ should you want to climb the summit and go to Worlds. Each of the core booster sets this past season highlighted one of the main special summoning mechanics from previous eras of the game, and in Dark NEOSTORM, it's XC's summoning's turn to shine. And that's why a lot of people assume Cherubini would end up here, and Needle Fiber would end up in our upcoming Savage Strike. So, big thunks on reveals coming up. Spearheading the return of XC's monsters are the Super Quantum Mecha Pilots. These heroes are joined by a mysterious mass Super Quantum Pilot clad in white. This pilot has their own Super Quantum Mecha that negates monster effects and can join up with the other monsters to form a new Link monster variation on Super Quantum Mech King Great Magnus. Meanwhile, all the major players in the battle over the World Legacies have gathered, and Armageddon is nigh. I almost read that as Armageddon Night. World Chalice, Crawler, Mech Knight, Crusadia, Orcus, and Guard Dragon all make an appearance in Dark NEOSTORM alongside a brand new Nightmare that can wipe the field and clear Link monsters. Again, in time for the WCQ. And I really like that lore. It's like basically DT savvy, dual terminal savvy as it were, in terms of how expansive and big it's getting through our core sets. Basically the most exciting lore since DT. Dark NEOSTORM also follows up from October's Legendary Hero decks by introducing brand new cards for Destiny Hero decks, including a new fusion monster that can rearrange the top card of either player's deck, perfect for putting powerful normal spells on top of your deck for Destiny Heroes Diamond Dude to find. Okay, don't get ahead of yourself there. In addition to all that, duelists will be able to find a wide variety of cards for many different strategies and situations, including, and here's where it gets a little wild, and there's more than Cherubini, alright? But we'll start from the top. A metamorphic dragon that lets you trade a card in hand for a monster that matches the type and attribute, but not the name of something on the field. The first new Assault Mode monster in a decade, designed to work in a deck using the TG cards from Savage Strike. Well, realistically, we're gonna be abusing this for Link summoning with Doomkaiser or summoning Stardust, etc. if it gets competitive. Multiple new discard effect monsters, including one that boosts your life points for each effect monster your opponent special summons. So, our confirmation on our good ol' new Ghost Girl. And another effect that takes aim at the extra deck climbing strategies and other similar strategies by preventing a monster from being tributed or used as material for a new extra deck monster. Interesting. Let's see here. A reinforcement of the army-like spell card for Cyberse monsters. The perfect addition to a deck based around the cards from Structure Deck Soul Burner, Structure Deck Power Code Link, or Structure Deck Cyberse Link. And this is also huge. So they allude to dangers once again. We know that now we get dangers coming, more of them throughout this set. A dangerous spell card that lets you escape from the clutches of a massive monster, only to find yourself face to face with something smaller and probably fiercer. Possibly fiercer. Dude, so Danger's getting a spell card first off gives a signal to us that this is more likely something that swaps their monster out for something else, maybe from deck. So I don't know how exactly it'll work, but it's one of our first times where the TCG exclusives get hinted at very so early. Like, we don't even have Savage Strike. We don't know our TCG exclusives for Savage Strike, but we're getting hints here already. And a Link monster for one of the most popular Xyz focused decks of all time, Burning Abyss. it took this long to get Link Frames Pack 2 fully to us if we're getting Needle Fiber and Savage Strike. Very interesting. Now, the biggest thing to me that's very interesting, brand new cards for Valkyrie decks. We had a hint that we were getting new Valkyrie cards, but how it was worded, we weren't sure if we were getting multiple or one, kind of like the Neo-Spacian stuff. Now, it shows that they're really going to be pushing Valkyries, and this is a pretty big deal that I think is getting underlooked right now when we're looking at this. So, I'll celebrate Cherubini with all of you in just a second, and go down my rabbit hole real quick. We're getting multiple cards for Valkyries in the set, which means there's multiple cards for Valkyries in Savage Strike. This is huge because they have an insane mechanic, and we know that these are now going to get a push on a level of TCG exclusives. And when we go over, let's actually go to the Market Watch layout. It's easier for me to just go through TCG Player and talk about the cards. This stuff is insane. First off, a lot of it's short printed from Shadows and Valhalla, meaning we're not going to get reprints for this in a core set. We're not going to see these. And people often whimsically go, well, I hope they reprint this. They're cheap right now. They're $5, but they're shorter printed and have very low quantity. So if you're thinking out of the box like myself, and you're thinking this might actually be amazing, it's a relatively cheap investment now towards a mechanic that we know is busted and broken and insane in terms of being able to skip a turn into the battle phase, even going first. So trying to basically OTK the opponent from turn 1. That concept in itself is crazy, insane. It was executed so poorly. We only have one normal summonable monster for the deck right now, and that's where it sorely lacks. We can assume now that they're going to get at least 8 cards of support, 6 dangers or whatever, maybe they'll cut it down to 4 dangers, and now multiple cards for the Valkyries confirmed per set. That is pretty awesome. Ride of the Valkyries, again, short printed, only $4.47, pretty affordable, more prices here over time, but Mischief of the Time Goddess, the star of the show here. It's crazy. It's actually insane. Now, confirmation on Cherubini means Burning Abyss cards will go up for Nationals, but we have common printings thanks to our new legendary... It's the legendary hero decks, right, this year? So we do have access to cheaper BA PK decks, etc. Whereas this, we have no clue the cap on the potential. It could be an utter failure. It could be a complete gamble. But when you read this card, you look at this card, you see the insanity of what it is and how it is. And it's a waifu. Where does that go with hype reveals? Hype of, okay, it's coming, it's about to happen. Remember spirals? They went up every single time beforehand. So when we're actually looking at these cards, you only know they're going to get more expensive. So if you've held off at all, if you've waited for bottom of the barrel prices, yeah, this is it. You're not going to see it cheaper than this, again, for a very long time, unless the first reveal of the set is just utter garbage. And then when we are going to see it again, they're hyping it, you know? When you see it again, you know, none of the other support even makes it to the second page. It's crazy. Because this is shorter printed from the set. You're going to get it hyped again, even if the first wave is crap. So history will repeat itself. You want to make sure you have this deck now, and that's the message I want to give you guys. And you'll see it. It would have happened naturally without me. Buyout would have happened tomorrow, the next day, somewhere along the line. There's so few quantities of Brunhild. So you definitely want to get the deck together. I think we'll see a huge boost in consistency. That's what Konami will aim for by giving this multiple sets of support. Now, on to Cherubini. Just, let's take a moment. Let's actually celebrate. Let's actually enjoy this news. Thank you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization, for the press release here. I don't think they had a source, so I'm pretty sure it's their... typically, when this happens, it's a press release, but the product info could be on the official Konami site, if I'm not mistaken. But this is huge freaking news. Cherubini, Dark NEOSTORM. So many of you guys, I expect in the comment section, called it. I called the XE set Cherubini. Well, yeah, we would have hoped so. So, with our upcoming Forbidden and Limited list, I don't expect them to hit Burning Abyss to help sell this card or sell this set. I expect Burning Abyss to be at the power it is at, or even greater heading in. Whenever you gamble on a Forbidden and Limited list, though, with it already having topped, you know, taking, what was it, the Euro Nationals, Britain's, I believe, Nationals, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry if I'm wrong there. But, it took it down, without, you know, Cherubini, and it's already at such a power that it's rogue status and topping. I think Cherubini will take it to a surprising level. So, again, don't overlook this little last line. Do not. Absolutely don't. This line being very important too, knowing we have danger cards continuing to coming rather than hitting fruition early. A ton of support coming there to these game-breaking cards, and a lot of confirmations here. So again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization, thank you so much as always. You're a great news source. I couldn't do a lot of my content without you, and you keep the community honest. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoy me reading that off. Some Yu-Gi-Oh! Players and reading, am I right, folks? But subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think down below. Am I going too far with the Valkyrie stuff, or you see all these cards coming and you're like, you know what? That could be a little broken, couldn't it?